Ready? ఎక్కడికి వెళ్తున్నావు?
Train. We're going to train. Then we go somewhere else.
పాపం ఇండియాలో కూడా బాగా అడిగాడు ట్రైన్ ఎక్కిలేపోయాం. చెన్నై పోతున్నప్పుడు చెన్నై కాదు
ఎక్కడికి?
Train.
గోయింగ్ ట్రైన్.
Yes.
No, I won't do that. No, the one in the cream pants on the back. Yeah.
Going to train.
Yes.
ఎక్కడ?
To track.
ఎక్కడమ్మా? సెయింట్ కిట్స్
Thank you.
సైనిక్ ట్రైల్.
International Airport got its name from the very first premier of the island of St. Kitts, Mr. Rancher. We make our way down to Bastir from this point. On the island of St. Kitts, my dear friends, we are English-speaking territory where the British had settled on the island. In 1623, Sir Thomas Warner, he colonized the island of St. Kitts. Also, we had the French follow 3 years later and settled on the island likewise. The French had the two end sides of St. Kitts and structural walls. These walls is from back in the slave days when the slaves was in action and building all these different buildings on the island. Anglican church on the island, and it is called the St. George's Anglican Island. Rainy, but as we get closer on our left hand side, so those of you who are taking photos and you're interested in taking the photo of the white egrets, you can do so. Alright, here is the birds, everyone. Very beautiful. They are called the white egrets. University Garden. 1626, the river flowed for several days with blood. And get down to the river shortly. As also they stated that there was some petroglyphs that is engraved into the river wall where the Caribs used to go to that particular end to worship their gods. That was the reason why they was actually captured in that area at once, because Mr. Tegraman, who was the chief of the Carib Indians, he was killed 2 days prior to when they was all massacred at the river. Until today, it is the home of the Caribbean Boutique and our botanical garden. Also on the way going up to the boutique, there are some Carib petroglyphs that is engraved into a wall or in modern home back in the early centuries. The way how they latticed the boards, the way how the board on the veranda was actually plaited, it was a very skillful way of doing Brimstone Hill Fortress.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Here is the dry dock, everyone. The dry dock is here. And up on the top, that is where the Brimstone Hill is located. There you go, everyone. The fort actually was built by the British and the enslaved Africans. It started constructed in 1690. 1690, that's when it started constructing. And also, it took over 100 years to be completed, my friends. Also, the fort is known to be a UNESCO heritage site. It is 800 feet above sea level also. It is also a sulfuric mountain, and the sulfur from the mountain, my friend, is actually scented among this area. I don't know if you guys can smell it. I can smell it. Yeah. But it's just simply telling you that there is a vent in the area from the volcano. Okay. And the fort had structured. Okay. We can take those leaves and actually put the leaves to boil just the same. We can make cinnamon tea and everything. So it's alright. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, you get a chance to stretch.
What's this? Riding in the truck. What the hell? What's this?
తేజ ఇడ్లీ తింటావా
I want
నేను తీయడం ఇప్పుడు అను అది ట్రైన్ అను
like that. People up there sitting. There are people sitting up there.
అక్కడ నుంచో
Yes, a train is coming. Oi,
మనం వెళ్తాం ఇప్పుడు
it's going from truck. It's coming from truck. Coming from road. Yo, what the heck? It's coming from road.
హలో ఒకసారి ఇటు తిరుగు.
You see off to the left of us, you'll begin to see the ocean. The little land protuberance, the rock that you see that sticks up in the middle that looks like a thumbs up, is the indicator that the mountain's crater is at that point. The crater and the ascent, like hiking to the top of the hill, right out of this area known as Belmont. At the base of our mountain in Belmont, you see Scenic. These two islands are Dutch-owned islands. And if you look closely at the its wealth-producing years, St. Kitts would change hands and ownership over 9 times back and forth between the French and British and other nations. If you look closely at the horizon, I often get asked what sugarcane looks like, and if you look directly at the 3 o'clock position, you see a patch of sugarcane growing in the field. Would be made by him because no longer would the industry be profitable to the government. So in 2005, he as well as the it is believed that Columbus during his second sail led to the mountain adventures. He would be the first cruise ship that would sail on this island. He would also blog about the island by writing back home to the Spanish king, Spanish territory.
Pardo.
But I did mention that the Aboriginal people, the Kalanako people, occupied these lands for many years before that. Want to join them and dance, feel free. They'll be coming on board each of the individual cars. the
Chinari. చూపించు.
But you can see it all being reflections of the
తిను స్వీట్ తిను.
enslaved Africans that were housed here in these spots. The brown sugar. So our black cake is brown. Our culture at Windsor is the home of one of our universities here on the island. Windsor is a medical facility. And this quarry is used for bathing. This one is known as soldier's cup. Soldier's cup. So this guy received this name. He went into ambush the opposing team because they would have to march across this area to get from the French side to the British side or back or vice versa. This is soldier's cup. Not quite black or gray sand here.
Chinari too. Chinari. Chinari.
Alright, we're going across another bridge. And this one has the distinction of being the tallest elevation. So if you dare to look down and look over, this is ranged up. And you can see how far we're elevated. Well over 200 feet above. I don't know what you did up here, but if you liked everything I had to say today, my name is Jackie, and I thank you for being here. I'd like to end my tour by saying, if no one told you they love you today, please know, let me be the first to say I love you. And I want you to take that love and share it with others that you meet along your way. May you travel safely and get back to your respective homes. And do come back and visit us anytime you see fit. And tell your friends as well. Because without you, we cannot be us. By the way, the ladies are invited.
Do you like it?
They appreciate you showing your appreciation of them. So they always ask me to remind you. And any way you choose to do that is fine. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Alright, we're free to go. Come on.
Yes, yes.
Bye.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.